Don't you die on me, damn it!
He's in a coma.
What about him?
Took some shrapnel.
I spoke into his eyes. I thought you died alone a long, long time ago. Oh no, not me. I never lost control. Your face to face with the man who sold the world.
Are you having difficulty speaking? Please try to relax. There is plenty of time. I need to tell you something. Please listen and try not to panic. You've been in a coma for quite some time. I'm afraid it's been 9 years.
V has come true.
It's been 9 long years since the release of The Phantom Pain, and to this day some still believe that there's more to Venom's story that we haven't seen. Originally I was one of the people who moved on quickly. I thought we were meant to make the connection between V and Metal Gear ourselves. It wasn't until a few years ago when I watched Python Selkin's theory about the true ending being told exactly 9 years after the release of The Phantom Pain that a sense of hope came into my life. I love Metal Gear Solid, and if this was true it would be extremely stupid but extremely groundbreaking. And if there was anyone in the industry who would try pulling off something as equally stupid as it was creative, it would be Hideo Kojima. Every so often a new Metal Gear Solid meme will surface. The games are timeless, in their gameplay and their messages of war, peace and humanity all still being relevant to this day. The most recent memes being literally me edits of Venom Snake to songs like Little Dark Age or Duran Duran's Invisible. A few years back it was a meme related to people waiting long periods of time for content related to their favourite pieces of media, quoting the Doctor from the opening of The Phantom Pain. Kojima would also tweet something out related to this meme with what seems to be a cryptic message, making sure to mention 9 years. Recently he was posting more frequently about Metal Gear, but during August these posts have completely stopped. Coincidence? Similar to Peace Walker, V had endings hidden behind side ops, base expansions and challenge versions of missions. However, unlike Peace Walker, fans never felt as if the story was finished. And with concepts of the Kingdom of the Flies being leaked, suspicions only grew. Peace Walker also had 5 chapters whilst The Phantom Pain only has 2. 3 if you count Ground Zeroes. Yet this was not enough to satisfy the hunger of gamers. As with the footage from the Red Band trailer, many speculated Child Warfare would host a bigger role in the story, or that we would return to Camp Omega. Since Ground Zeroes is a series of fake memories as a part of Venom's hypnotic transformation into Big Boss, we all wanted to return to know the truth, or at least help us put the pieces together. Dying in the main mission creates a time paradox, but the side ops don't. The events are real, but what we play isn't. We still want to know what really happened. "1984" and Moby Dick are 2 books that have a major impact on the narrative, themes and storytelling of MGSV. I've only seen the 1984 movie, so for the sake of insight, I watched the Futura Sound production video on its relation to Metal Gear, so shout out to them. I hope I got the name right. 1984 has definitely inspired the way we view Metal Gear as a whole. From references to the constant lies and misinformation told to both the characters and us the players. MGS 2 and 3 took this style of storytelling to lengths never seen before. Then The Phantom Pain took it even further, so much further that it's still discussed to this day. The entire story of V could be a complete lie. From Ocelot and Cypher controlling the narrative behind the scenes, to Venom's hallucinations and false memories making him the most unreliable narrator since James Sunderland. Wait a minute. Many characters take a huge inspiration from the characters in the book of 1984. Quiet and Julia are both initially seen as spies who join the Resistance and slowly fall in love with the protagonist, though Venom and Quiet's love could actually be seen as real. Though Miller uses the Big Boss likeness to create a Big Brother effect on Mother Base, Venom is a lot closer to Winston, as what he believes to be real throughout the beginning of the story is a complete fabrication. Neither has true knowledge of their past and are driven by their dreams, or hallucinations in Venom's case. Both characters are also manipulated by people a part of the Resistance they believed were their allies. Vic Boss, Zero, and especially Ocelot. Ocelot, a character known for torturing, is also the one to mention doublethink and 2 + 2 = 5. Cypher and Zero could also be seen as the thought police, manipulating all sides from behind the scenes. Neither Venom or Quiet ever come close to portraying each other like Winston to Julia though, and you could say that Venom is never fully brainwashed, as he, Miller and Ocelot do realise the grander story at the end of the game. However, the way we find out is never confirmed, as Konami have stated that if we don't see Venom receiving a cassette tape, there's a chance it isn't real. Take the tapes related to Paz for instance. Obviously most tapes are handed to him off screen, as events like interrogations and talks about Cypher and Skullface's plans or developments are confirmed through story events. But Paz and Truth prove that anything in this game can be fake. I hope to God that the hamburgers of Kazuhira tapes are false though, as world hunger was never solved, all because Kaz had a falling out with his ex-boyfriend. Pathetic. Outside of advertisements in the opening level, Moby Dick doesn't have as big an impact on the story. However, it does influence the way things are presented to us. There are a lot of obvious references, but also some that could be missed. Since this is the case, I wanted to talk about the one character who is the biggest reference to the book, the identity of Ishmael, and why I think he is the big boss we followed through Snake Eater, Portable Ops, and Peace Walker. I want to preface this by saying this is just my theory. I'll be arguing points from other theories, but that doesn't make me any more or less correct. Discussions like these are what keeps your favourite pieces of media alive. Just make sure to be respectful. I'm looking at you, My Hero Academia shippers. Some believe Ishmael isn't even real. In a game full of deception, lies, and hallucinations, I see why this is the case. During the hallway shootout, there is a character not just identical to Ishmael, but the exact same model. A mod by Yelena Govin and deep dives into the code prove this. My take is that this is either on purpose to deceive you, or because Ahab's brain is using the character to replace Ishmael, so he doesn't realise he isn't Big Boss. The character is the only one we never fully see. Every other faced character gets some kind of focus. In a game based on 1984, being given a level called Truth is very suspicious, so this could be the reason that it's the same model even in that mission. The only characters who can confirm this are Ishmael and Quiet. Other points are the stab wound disappearing, lack of help during the end shootout, and his ability to disappear and reappear. For the stab wound, it's possibly an oversight, as the doctor and nurse's throat wounds are also gone after you take control of Ahab. Subtitles also don't exactly match what Ishmael says to you either.
Talking to yourself. Been watching over you for 9 years. You can call me Ishmael.
I can't explain why Ishmael doesn't help during the shootout. However, not only does he kill the XOF member just before to give us the pistol, but he affects the environment at multiple points to help Ahab. He also sneaks identically to Snake in Peace Walker, and gives Ahab similar advice to what Snake learns during the events of Snake Eater. I'm not saying it's not weird, I'm just stating facts. I see the random disappearances as a representation of us in previous games. On many occasions we slip in and out undetected, but sometimes we need to escape capture or detection, whether due to the story or our own slip-ups. We're just now seeing it from an outside perspective. Initially, Ishmael's identity was up for debate even to Kojima himself, meaning it could still be that way. However, if it is Snake, why the poor CQC against Quiet? Well, let's be real, 9 years without any proper practice or use of something can make you sloppy. Age may not slow you down one bit, but lack of doing anything will. it's also a non-smoking ward, so he could be in a bad mood. Like I said though, the identity could still be up for debate. At some point it was even meant to be Huey. Yeah. However, killing Ishmael creates a time paradox, something that happens only when you kill characters who affect the story. Outside of Ocelot, Miller, Snake, and Zero, no one we know could have known about Venom's coma before he wakes. Even if others did, only those 4 would have wanted him alive to take up the mantle of Big Boss, and only Snake has the ability to protect him alone whilst being able to contact Ocelot. Miller was also occupied with something. What seals the deal for me though is the appearance of Vulcan. At this point, he and Psychomantis are not working for Skullface. That's why he constantly attacks XOF and vice versa. So there's no way Skullface or Cypher gave them the info on Snake's location. Also, whenever Vulcan gets near to Ahab, he focuses on Ishmael. If Psychomantis was working for Skullface, there's no way they knew about Snake. At multiple points after killing someone in the hospital, the XOF members will check their faces and or IDs to confirm the kill. Even if no one knew about Big Boss through American propaganda, Skullface would have definitely confirmed it to the soldiers. The reason they were there was to prevent Zero's plan to create a phantom. They were there for the medic. Again, I'm not saying I'm right, you're wrong. If you don't agree with me, have your own theory, or want to point out holes in mine, go ahead. That's great. As long as you're respectful, I'd love to hear your opinions. And if you aren't respectful, thanks for the interactions on my video. I plan on making another video going into my thoughts about the gameplay and narrative later, but I'll quickly sum them up now. Starting off the game can be very overwhelming, but in a good way. So much is thrown at you without explanation, but in a way that you can either enjoy as a new player or really enjoy as a Metal Gear veteran. Sadly, the late game begins to feel lackluster. Is it due to the story, content, or the open world? Well, that's what I'll discuss in that video. I also wanted to wait to make that video just in case any content does come out, as I want a fresh mindset and experience when I'm doing this. There is one thing I'd like to talk about though. I've always noticed a parallel between Venom and Raiden. The training they do to take the place of a Snake are all fake simulations that replicate what that previous Snake did. When starting their first real mission, their codenames also dramatically change for what, at the time, feels like no reason at all. The story we follow through these characters are events almost fully fabricated by the same outside sources, Cypher and the Patriots, whilst Ocelot has more of a hands-on role. These fabricated events are also eerily similar to what the previous Snake did on their mission. Raiden's big shell is similar to Shadow Moses for obvious reasons. Venom's may not seem as obvious though. Receiving the bandana from the boss, the skulls are at base level similar to the Cobra unit. Vulcan is here, and Psychomantis has, again at base level, similar powers to the Sorrow. Also, the game as a whole feels like an update or reimagining to Peace Walker. The next point is just to make myself feel smart when really it's just a load of rubbish. The Deja and Jamais Vu side ops have to do with Shadow Moses and Raiden. One is about recreating events, whilst the other feels like a character forcing their way in as the protagonist. Raiden is also the ultimate unlockable in the Phantom Pain. The Metal Gear franchise means a lot to me. The creativity, dedication, and love from the creators, actors, and fans are a huge inspiration. The story, themes, and gameplay always adapting and evolving prove to me that creating something you love will always be an option. And that gives me hope. And it should give you hope too. Thanks for watching. Now do you remember who you are, what you were meant to do? You want to know the truth then? The truth is V was finished 9 years ago. Everything we were given was the product Kojima and Konami wanted to give us. Though it may not feel finished, it is. We know through previous titles what happens to the two big bosses. The Kingdom of the Flies was confirmed by Konami to have no effect on the story, and we see this in the leaked footage. Kojima posts things about Metal Gear because it's one of his biggest creations. He's proud of it, as he should be. The Red Band trailer was most likely early concepts that didn't make the final cut, or made to simply set up the premise of the game. Kojima has been and is working on many different projects since V. There's no way he could shift between his own production company and Konami for something like this. Konami is a production company who only care about money. The reason for the PC releases is to fund the Snake Eater remake, and the Snake Eater remake is made for money. They wouldn't wait 9 years to release an update for a game that they don't care about, for a person they don't care about. But maybe there is hope. Maybe the final chapter of Metal Gear Solid will be released to us. Maybe we'll have that closure. Hope is a beautiful thing. It drives us to make things, to keep going when times are tough. And if our dreams are crushed, use that pain, that phantom pain, to create something that will bring other people hope.